You're listening to the Business and Life Podcast, where 7 days a week, proven entrepreneurs share their success stories, failures, and give you true value on how you can build a great business and an awesome life. With your host, Mike Olivas.
Wes, welcome to the show.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining. I'm stoked to talk about some sales today. So tell our listeners first, maybe something interesting about yourself and also where you're calling in from.
Oh, man. I'm calling in from Southern California.
Nice.
Air Force veteran, got 7 kids from the same wife, and I'm swimming 5 kilometers across Tampa Bay this weekend for a fundraiser.
Oh, very cool, man. Are you a big swimmer?
I am now.
Well, you better be. I was going to be, you better be, or else you're not going to be anything, right? So good. What part of SoCal?
I'm in Temecula, so just
Nice,
north
yeah.
of San Diego.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just moved to Puerto Rico 6 months ago from Newport Beach. I was there for 12 years.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
You escaped. Congratulations.
Yes, I did. I mean, I guess it's not that much of an escape. It's beautiful here, but we have warmer water, and obviously all year round it's summer. But it's I miss SoCal sometimes. The humidity was a tough change for me, but I'm getting through it.
Yeah. Or you.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. While I look at the Caribbean here, I'm complaining. You're right, man. So, well, that's what the podcast is about: business, life, building the life you want to live. I love it. 7 kids from Temecula. Tell our listeners what your company does, what the value it kind of brings to the marketplace.
Man, I help people figure out their message and deliver it in a powerful way. You know, I've created a program called Make Every Sale. And the concept behind that is twofold. You know, one, the goal is to make every sale. But realistically, you know, you're not going to sell every single person you come across, at least not on doing business with you. But to make any sale, you have to make every sale. And I tell the story, you know, I met my wife at a country bar. And everybody that's breathing has either been on a date, been asked out on a date, turned somebody down for a date. And there's a process that's followed. And, you know, when I went to that country bar, I mean, 3 hours ahead of time, right? I was showering. I made sure my clothes were clean. I put on deodorant. You know, all of those were little sales. You know, shined my boots, made sure, you know, didn't have any dirt under my fingernails. So each of those was a sale. So when you look at your own business, the fancy word they call it is congruency. Does your ad match your landing page? Does the messaging there match what was promised in the ad? Is it easy to engage? What's the email follow-up? Do I text in, or are you pummeling me, you know, 5 times an hour? Are you dripping? So every step has to be good to make that sale. So when I have people break that down, they kind of get that aha moment. It's like kind of an oh crap moment, you know, because they realize they're not doing it to that degree. They realize it could be a lot of work, and it is in the long run, but just you start making 1 and 2 little things, right? So, a guy's always being told no at the bar. Well, all right, brush your teeth, use mouthwash. That right there will probably improve your chances.
There's an idea.
You know, 50%.
Yeah.
Okay, now take dancing lessons. All right. So, I mean, you can, but, you know, small hinges swing big doors.
I love that. And I think, you know, there's some podcast interviews that I go off the beaten path about business and life. And sometimes I focus on what it is that the person does, like in your industry, and your world. And I likely will just be doing that, the latter, which is going off the beaten path here, because you have and I'll ask the questions, but I want to ensure that our listeners kind of get some great value out of this. What do you feel some of your clients, if there was a number one, very kind of like high level issue that most of your clients have, what is that in terms of sales?
Well, great salespeople have great empathy. And empathy is not sympathy, right? Empathy is being able to see things from your customer's point of view, literally dragging the chair around the desk, sitting on the other side of the conference table with them. It's seeking to serve, right? It's maybe the sale is the right thing, maybe it's not. But, you know, in politics, you see how just crazy our politics are nowadays. Everybody's just screaming at each other. But as soon as you can convey if you can repeat your opponent's message and viewpoints and objectives better than they can, right? If you understand them that well, then you can beat them in a debate or politics, whatever. Same thing in the military. You study the opposition. And in sales, we're not at war with our customers, but they are in war with us because they've been abused and mistreated by so many cheap, pushy, easy, shortcut looking, salespeople.
Right.
So their defenses are up. So we have to realize they're armed for battle. They want to play their cards close to the vest. So you've got to be able to open them up. You have to be able to convey that you understand what they're going through. Then their defenses will come down. Then they'll answer the questions truthfully, because really that's all we're going for. Okay, if I can get you to answer the questions honestly, it may be for the first time, even for yourself. Like, I can't believe this is coming out of my mouth. Okay, I tell more people no than yes. Okay, I have private consulting and software that I sell. It's not right for everybody.
Yeah.
So you've got to have that empathy, right? You've got to see things from their point of view. Robert Collier said years ago, we must enter the conversation going on in the mind of the prospect. What are they telling themselves? Do you really know their pain? Because if you do, the sale becomes really pretty easy.
Do you think that most of it, and I've been, I'm not definitely a sales expert, but being an entrepreneur that has been in business for a long time, and all those I speak with have been in business a long time, they have to have some level of sales expertise, but just sales in their own general, like demographic. But how important do you feel like some of your clients need the outside looking in approach? Because is sales as similar as, let's say, marketing? Because you've also kind of talked about the marketing world. For example, someone probably doesn't know that their site doesn't really understand why their site is getting such a high bounce rate, because they're on the inside looking out versus the outside looking in, which is a company like you and your people do. Do you think sales is similar to that, where you need an outside looking in approach?
Well, it's always, I was talking with a guy just yesterday. I hire coaches and consultants to fix my own stuff.
Yep.
You can't read the label from inside the bottle. We're all too close to our own stuff.
Yep.
And so having that neutral third party, that's why surgeons don't operate on family and friends. They can't be neutral.
Right.
Right. They have to step aside and let someone else. And so, you've got to have that. And, tell everybody that we're all in sales, right? Everybody, they'll quote the Bible and say, oh, when two or more are gathered in my name, there I am. Right. Well, when two or more humans gather, somebody's making a sale. Okay. And it could be as simple as, where are we going to eat?
Right.
Where are we going to go golf today? I'm meeting some buddies in Scottsdale in a few weeks to go golfing. 8 of us. We're selling on each other. Hey, let's play another 18 holes. Hey, let's get a round of tequila. We're selling each other.
Yep.
Well, that's not really sales. It's sales. It's persuasion. It's negotiation. You go to the restaurant, you're like, well, I don't want French fries as my side. Can I get a side salad instead? Yes, that's $1. That's $1.99 extra. That restaurant, that waiter is selling you on that. So I tell people, practice all the time. Practice negotiating and say, do I really have to pay $1.99 extra? No, I'll just swap it out for you. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So practice that, because everywhere, look, you're either selling or being sold.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go. Facebook is selling you, click this, click that, stay a little bit longer, ESPN, wherever you go, there's ads. So you need to understand we're part of the matrix. And so you can either be, a tool in it or leverage it to your advantage.
Do you see a lot of paralysis by analysis out there?
Yeah, it's like you see both extremes. Either
Yeah,
everybody.
I see that personally. Personally, I see that sometimes in my businesses too. Like I'm looking at the numbers too much, and it's like, okay, everyone's talking about big data, and sometimes like, listen, I don't give a shit. I know what the action items are that need to happen and what numbers I need to focus on, but I do like to see it. But I also got to remind people, even that I coach, like, what are you doing with the numbers? Cool. Here's some numbers. Here's some analytics, right? What the hell are you doing with them? Like, and so are you putting some action behind it, or are you creating some strategic processes behind it, or at least steps forward, Or are you just saying, cool, I got the numbers because I got good analytics and I saw what my cost per lead is and my cost per acquisition. All that makes sense in the long term, but what are you doing with it? Do you see a lot of people just looking at numbers and maybe not taking the next steps?
Yeah, like I was saying, it's two extremes. They say knowledge is power. Well, proper action is
Right.
power, right?
100%.
And knowledge gives you the information you need to take the proper action. And so it cuts both ways. I see people either getting ready to get ready, right? Or they're just ignoring everything and just, ready, fire, aim. And so you got to find that happy medium. The numbers do matter. Whatever you measure, you can improve. I think a lot of times the entrepreneurs, they know deep down they've got termites, right? But they're just like, wow, we're still growing though. We got lights on. We're throwing a party. The graduation's coming up in the summer, and after the graduation, we'll go ahead and fix the termites. Well, you're just hoping it's worse than you think. And everybody's at the party and fall through the deck, so go look at it. Go look at the monster under your bed, because once you look at it and face your fears, it no longer remains a fear. Okay. So you've got to ask yourself, if I'm not a numbers guy, is it because you're afraid of the numbers?
Right.
Okay. You got to really understand what makes you tick. And so, there's always a handful of important numbers for each business. So you got to figure out what those are and keep those in front of you. Yeah. Do you need to know the lead source KPI of the API to the SSL to your CD, DVD?
Yeah.
No, you can probably leave that to your Google AdWords guy.
Yeah.
Okay. But you need to understand overall what's working and what isn't working, or you're going to lose.
If you're talking to a new company that is trying to scale their sales organization or turn into a true sales organization, right? They departmentalize their business. We have, a lot of our listeners are going to be in the entrepreneur journey, maybe aspiring, but also many that are really, really focused on sales. If they're CEO of small businesses, a lot of times they might be sales, right? What KPIs or what numbers, I guess, would you recommend that they measure? Like, what are the very high level? Like, we don't need all of them, I guess, but what would you recommend? Like, listen, at the bare minimum, you need to make sure you're measuring these on a monthly, weekly, daily, like KPI level. Life Nation, we're all striving towards different goals. Maybe your goal is to finally quit the 8 to 5 grind, quit your job, or take the next step with your existing business. Whatever the goal may be, regardless of your reasons, if you are serious about taking the next step and finally trying to build the life that you deserve, the life that you want to live, take the leap of faith with me. Go to michaellevis.com and let's discuss your goals and life. It's 100% free with no obligation. It's michaellevis.com. Schedule a quick call. I'd love to help.
Yeah, I'm actually coding a calculator right now on my website.
Nice.
For this exact thing.
Okay.
But I tell sales managers all the time, you manage activity and you pay on results. Most sales managers were picked from the sales team. They were the top performing salesperson. But the attributes that made them a great salesperson are the exact attributes that make them a terrible sales manager.
Yeah.
Right. They're lone wolves. They're aggressive. They're impatient. They're go-getters, blah, blah, blah. And now they're leading a team and they're berating their people, and it's just rough. But my sales training program, one of the early things we do is I give them 4 pages of just empty sheets to track their time in 15-minute increments for a month. Okay. If you are doing the right things in those small chunks of time, you're going to end up on the right path. Okay. You're going to hit your goal. But everybody, the other thing is I hate 1-year goals. The 12-week year, is a great book, and I saw the wisdom in consolidating, because if you wait for a year to see if you're on target, because sales are lagging indicators, just like your weight. You're trying to lose weight, so you got your high school reunion coming up in 90 days, and you want to drop 20 pounds. You don't know if you're on the right track, right, or off it till it's too late. But if you can plot out, say, okay, I need to eat 2,200 calories a day. I need to burn 400 calories and exercise, blah, blah, blah. Well, you can track every meal. You can track, Should I have the dessert? Should I get a Coke or should I get water? Right. Well, there's 144 calories, I think, in a Coke. Well, you can do that math. So every meal, every portion of the meal, so you manage activity and the results will follow. If you map that out, you are guaranteed to lose the weight. And the same thing in sales. If you make the right number of calls, send the right number of emails, attend the right number of Chamber of Commerce and networking functions, say the right things, grab the right business cards, follow up sequentially, you're going to hit your goals.
Why do you think, I'm going to get back to, that's a great answer. I want to find out which website, by the way, is that tool going to be working on, but I want to get your website in general right now, get it out of the way. So that way we don't forget. Where can people find you on your website?
Yeah. The easiest is just my main site, thesaleswhisperer.com.
I love that. The Sales Whisperer.
Yeah. The calculator, I don't know where I'm going to put, I'm going to make it easy and obvious, probably adjust the navigator. I've got like several tools I'm creating just for free for hiring, for coming up your numbers, creating your income, mapping that out. I've got things for how to find the right salespeople. I've got a lot of things coming out.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Okay, great. Well, the saleswhisperer.com, guys, you got to swing by there and take a look at some of these tools, or obviously reach out if you need some help from your sales organizational standpoint. What are you excited about right now in your business?
All those same things, giving more tools, working on a new book. I'm doing a 2-day live event in Texas in late April.
Nice.
Just started promoting. So I'm going to be doing more live events I haven't done in a long time. It's funny how you get away from things.
Yep.
I got a big family. I do jiu-jitsu 6 days a week. I've gotten kind of spoiled, kind of lazy. So I got to get back out and mix things up. So my goal, after that one in April, is to start doing live events, probably like every 2 months.
Cool.
This one will be in Austin. I'll probably then come back and do one in the hometown and kind of move it around a little bit.
Keeps you alive and energetic. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. And I love doing live training.
Yeah.
There's no silver bullet. I don't like it when people think, I'm gonna go to this workshop and get great. And that's why the lead up, I'm doing a 4-month lead up where people are in my private group, weekly calls, they get all the content. So then the 2 days is really just bringing it all together in person, just to make a deeper impact. But it's that ongoing is where the real magic happens. So doing both is the best. But I never want people to think, I'm gonna go to this 2-day workshop and be great. It's like, no, you can go to this 2-day workshop and maybe get back on the right path. But it's that ongoing, that 15 minutes, that 1 hour, that plan big, but work small, right? That's the real key to success.
You've been in business for a long time. Why do you think a lot of entrepreneurs out there just fail, just throw in the towel?
Yeah. The E-Myth, right? Michael Gerber, I met him many years ago. Are you an entrepreneur, a big dreamer, a big picture person? Are you the manager or are you the technician? Like he says, most people are technicians with fits of entrepreneurism. And it's, I think it's harder than they think it's going to be. They don't understand sales and marketing. Most people hate sales and marketing. You have social media marketing. Most people are not social and they're not marketers. And they put the two together, and 2 negatives do not make a positive.
Yeah.
Okay. It's, they don't understand, and they overextend themselves. They're like, oh, well, I'm a speaker like Tony Robbins. And I see that Tony Robbins has, Salesforce and Marketo and HubSpot and a Rolls Royce. I'm going to buy all those things because that's where I'm going to be. And, 2 months later, they're broke, literally filing bankruptcy because they can't pay for all the stupid stuff.
Right.
So do you have enough money in the bank? Are your expenses low enough? Do you have a big enough offer? Do you have a big enough megaphone, right, to get the word out and deliver a powerful message in a powerful manner? Very few people do that.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think there's a lot of people that are, I think sometimes they just think it's okay to look up to others, but don't try to be others, right? You got to be yourself. And the organic approach in sales kills it. I think more and more today that the trust factor and being just real can sometimes win the game. I know we treat my salespeople the same way. I tell them to give a shit and they're going to do really well. And I say, care about your client, care about the customer, care about where they're going, about their experiences and our travel packages, whatever it might be. And and know that that you are going to be there and actually do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
That's a big piece of it too. So how are you currently, or you have 7 kids, is that right?
Yep.
You have 7 kids. I know you've been you're about to jump back on the road and do a couple of some more speaking engagement stuff. That's awesome. Or go out and do some workshops. But do you feel you've been able to build the life that you want to live with the engine of your businesses?
I have, but I want to build it bigger. I mean,
Yeah.
I got kids going to college, and got 5 daughters. There's going to be a lot of marriages, so grandkids. So got to keep growing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. If you're going to give one piece of parting advice here, what would that be to our current entrepreneurs out there?
Believe and invest in yourself. Okay. There's literally nobody out there that's smarter than you, with some unknown insight that the world has never seen. Okay. So don't fall for these easy buttons. Yeah, there's things you can do in the short term. Like, hey, we figured out the algorithm. We've hacked Snapchat. Jump on now.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, they probably did, and it will probably work for a week or a month or 6 months. And then did you see just last week, or maybe it was early this week, YouTube said, yeah, we're not monetizing kid stuff anymore. The number one earner on YouTube last year was this, 8-year-old kid or something, made $23 million.
Yep.
And now it's gone. Over.
That's it.
He's literally out of business because YouTube snapped their fingers.
Yep.
Okay. So, and so the other related point is build on property that you own. Okay. You don't own YouTube. You don't own Facebook. You don't own Instagram, Snapchat, blah, 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 blah. You own your website. Okay. So everything that you do are spokes in the wheel that point to the hub, which is you. Your website, they opt in there, you own that list. Even if they opt out, if you have their phone number, if you have their address, you can call them, you can send them a postcard or a letter, so multimedia, multi-step follow-up, but invest in yourself, right? Don't go chasing some crazy things. If you can't explain it on a napkin to a 5th grader,
yeah,
you won't know it well enough to invest in it.
Yeah.
Okay. So invest in yourself.
That's some really good advice. I think I love build on property that you own. There's a lot of data out there that's going to show similar things to what YouTube did. And that bottom line, that these Instagram influencers, quote unquote influencers, are going to have to get jobs here soon. Right. And there's a lot of a lot of data that shows it. A lot of the analytics and more of the algorithms that they're creating that's becoming more and more expensive to even advertise out there. However, this is build on property that you own. Pretty much the way I take that, and the way I also kind of give the similar advice, is that if you don't own the medium, then you don't own the possibility of it going away, right? If you're dependent on Facebook and Instagram right now, guys, or Google to bring in your ads. Now SEO, a little bit different because Google's not going away, but you might want to think twice about what if something happens, right? Think about the crash. Like what if all of a sudden the market crashes in 2007, 08? That happened, right? And so this could also happen. If they just click their fingers and say, we're going to change everything up, or we're only going to go to a very, very high level of price platform and you can't afford it anymore, people you can manage, and you can manage actions. And if you can manage those people and those actions, then you can create KPIs and, obviously cost per acquisitions out of people and what they do. And honestly, it's a lot more fun as well, I think, at least.
Amen.
Yeah. So, hey, I wanted to kind of just, again, go out to give me maybe a time where you felt you were close to rock bottom or hitting rock bottom in your entrepreneurship journey and you were able to overcome that.
Oh, dude, multiple times.
Yeah.
When I left corporate America, 6 months after, or when I left the Air Force, 6 months later, I was unemployed. I was on unemployment when 2 of my 7 kids were born. After starting the Sales Whisperer twice, I went back into corporate America to make sure I had food on the table.
Right.
So, lots of setbacks. I wrote a blog post a long time ago. Said, you can't climb a smooth mountain. Right. You need the cracks. You need the plateaus. It's a foothold. It's a toehold. It's a place to sit and rest. So sometimes you think, oh, I'm not going anywhere. It's like, you may not be going anywhere right this second, but you're not falling backwards. maybe if you are falling backwards, you're not in a free fall, right? You're grabbing, you're fighting. And so maybe you're just on that plateau, just like, Mount Everest. There's, I think, like 6 base camps. You got to go up a little bit and then get ready for the next assault, right? Or ascent. So embrace those. You look back, like they say, you've survived 100% of the challenges and obstacles that have been thrown at you so far. You'll handle the rest as well.
Wes, great knowledge bombs. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Life Nation, you got to remember that in order for things to change, you must change. And in order for things to get better, you must get better. You just got better by hanging out with me, Michael Libas, and the Business and Life Nation. So come back tomorrow because I'm here dropping sound bombs 7 days a week, baby. If you'd like to subscribe, please do, so you can take action and execute. See you tomorrow.